This is a short video to show you how to work through the checklists that are on D2L. So when you open up your D2L page, you'll see that the checklist tab is at the top here. You click on that and you'll see all the checklists for the entire course. Each checklist refers to a specific chapter in the textbook. So if we start with I'll just go down here to chapter 22, which is Gauss's law. When you open that up, you'll see a checklist that looks like this. And it'll tell you each activity, it'll tell you when that activity is due, and it'll tell you approximately how long the activity takes. You'll notice that often you'll have more than one activity due on the same day at the same time. So, for example, these first two activities, looking at these PowerPoint slides and doing an assignment on mastering physics, you have to have them both done by 10 p.m. So obviously you're going to start these a lot sooner. You know, probably on Tuesday you should start these assignments that are due Thursday night. So when you click on the Gauss's law lecture slides on D2L, I have uploaded the lecture slides from the textbook. You can look at them from the link in the checklist, or you can go to My Tools and you can go to Content, and you can see that the PowerPoint lecture slides are all here as well. So if you ever want to go back and look at them, they're there. Okay, so let's go back to having clicked on these lecture slides. And so then you have to read through these and make just brief notes. So in your notebook, you have to write down 3 concepts that you have learned by reading these PowerPoint slides. Okay, and then you go back to your checklist and check off that you have done that. Next, you go into Mastering Physics, and there's a link here to Mastering Physics, so that when you do that, you get to Mastering Physics, and the page will look like this. Oh, I'm not sure how your page looks. This is the faculty page. I think your page looks similar though. So you'll see there's a calendar, and on the calendar are listed both the Monday and Thursday night assignments that you're going to be doing in Mastering Physics. So you'll notice there are different little icons beside these assignments. If it's a little cross, that means it's from the checklist. It's a concept and video assignment, which means you're going to look at a little video that goes over the concepts again, the ones that were covered in the PowerPoint slides, and then you'll answer some concept questions. The ones with the dots, those are homework assignments. That's the real guts of the course. That's where you're going to be cranking out physics problems and grinding through numbers and derivations and things like that. That's also going to take the bulk of your time. Then there are these things called dynamic study modules. These are available at any time throughout the course, so these aren't, you know, they're not made available at a specific time. They're always there. And so you can work through them. They're supposed to prepare you for the quiz. And at the end of every chapter in Mastering Physics, there is a quiz. It's a timed activity, which means once you start it, you have 1 hour to complete it, and it is due at a specific time. You can start it whenever you want, as long as you're finished by 11:30 on this particular night. Okay, then you go back to your checklist after you've done that. And you see now it's time, so this is just videos and concepts so far. Now it's time to make a detailed equation sheet, which you're going to do in your notebook, but you will be given the equations. So in D2L, under the Content Equations tab, you'll be given the sheets of equations that you're going to need to do the assignments. So, but notice how the equations are just given to you, but all the variables aren't defined. So your job is going to be to write these into your notebook and then go through each equation and define, like, what is this phi sub e? What's it called? What's its units? And if you need a little picture to go with it, you can put that in as well. So that's the next activity in your checklist. So then you go back, you check that off, and then you're back to Mastering Physics. And this is the big assignment. Notice how creating that detailed equation sheet, I've estimated that should take you about 30 minutes. But now this Mastering Physics assignment, this is 2 hours. So notice how you now have, this was the previous activity was Thursday night, now you've got till Monday night. So you need to start that like right away Friday morning, and you can open it and close it as many times as you want, but work through it, and you have till Monday night at 10 to complete that. Once you've completed that, where you've written down all your answers to all the questions on Mastering Physics, you then come back and you need to take a picture of at least 3 pages of your notebook. So I want to be able to see that you've been working through these problems and writing the answers in your notebook. This will also be what you'll need if you're asked oral questions during your oral quizzes. So this assignment is in D2L. So it looks like this. You pull this up on D2L and you submit your file, which is a PDF of 3 pages of your notebook. Use whatever program you want to take those pages and convert to PDF. Cam Scanner, I found students have had success with that, but use whatever you like. Okay, back to the checklist. So you've now completed the assignment, you've taken pictures and submitted them. Now it's time for the quiz, and you have, now these notebook submissions, they have a due date, but it's in the assignment tab where what the due date is. Now you go through and do this dynamic study module, which is just sort of more concept questions, making sure you understand what's going on. And then you go back to Mastering Physics, and you've got until 11:30 at night. So most of these things are due at 10 at night. 10:30, you've got an extra half hour to do your equation sheets, but almost all the activities you notice are due at 10 or 10:30, but the quiz you have until 11:30 if you want to. Now, also in D2L, let's go back to the calendar. You'll notice that all of these things from the checklist are all listed in your calendar. So here they are. Now this is just review. There seem to be a lot of activities here. It's because they're very short, and these are just review for you. But for example, this day, there's only one thing, which is quite a long Mastering Physics assignment. So if you ever need to know what's due, you look at your little calendar and you notice all the dots. Now, the 12th of October is Thanksgiving, so that's a holiday, so the due date is the 13th. But you'll notice everything is either due on a Monday or a Thursday right throughout the term. Okay, so that should be it. One more thing, if you want to go to the content of the course, you'll notice all of these things. So your chapter checklists are all there. If you want to have a look at them from there, you can click from there. The PowerPoint slides for every chapter are there. The equation sheets for every chapter are there. Now these YouTube video links, a lot of the problems on Mastering Physics can get fairly complicated fairly quickly. So I have made videos of many of the problems. So if you are stuck, or I would just strongly recommend you look at these videos anyway. They're all on YouTube, available anytime, and they are just me doing these physics problems that you need to know how to do. So those are very useful. And then the last thing, oh, and these YouTube videos, they all have transcripts to go with them. So the PDF of the actual video is also here if you want to have a look at those and not watch the video. Okay, so that's it.